My Black here with Lanthan Lights C, also known as Spanky.
You me set jump Spanky pants. Good horse.
He is Lori's other 4-year-old that I've had the pleasure of training this year. And he was entered and almost on the bus to Surefire, and he came in from the field with a little kick on his shoulder from his pasture mate Petey. So he didn't get to go to Surefire after all, and I also had famous last words planning. Didn't get a ton of video of him this month because I was planning on using a lot of the video from Surefire. So this was about 2 days after Surefire, and so he's had an easy day or two off, and then a day of hacking. And this was so he's walked around the farm here already, but this was otherwise I thought maybe I'd show you guys a little bit what I've been playing around with him here on the flat work and stuff. So again, he's gone for a hack around the farm, and then I always love to start with a little walk work, just getting them to move their shoulders, move their haunches, getting them to cross over with the right hind or the left hind, whatever leg's on the outside of the circle, getting those to step around from my outside legs, so instead of him swinging his haunches around here. And I love to do it at a slower gait first. Same idea back in the earlier this year, we talked about jumping ditches, doing them at the walk before you do them at the trot, before you do them at the canter. Here we are, having him move away from my leg and do some transitions, and also starting to incorporate being able to touch him on top the croup, top the butt with the dressage whip, and having that becoming an aid and not and getting him comfortable with it, so that in the future, in these transitions here, I can touch him a little bit with the whip there. Good. Again, I'm not worried about where his head is really at this point. Just trying to get the hind leg straight behind his shoulders and also active. So here when I touch the right rein, I want him to move his right shoulder away. Again, trying to keep him as straight as possible in his body and these little leg gills. Here you can see this one's going to be better. And again, when I touch that left rein right there, I want him to move that left hind across. And now when I touch the right rein, I want him to move that right hind across. And so again, we're trying to get the horses. He is a very sensitive horse, but I want to get him in tune to what I want at that moment. So I do a lot of transitions with him. I'm trying to, again, if you watch my last episode, getting him to, ride him with the neck strap, bridleless, all that fun stuff. But really the purpose behind it is to get him responding to my seat and leg, and having it all be less about the bit. So you can see here again, this is the first 5 or 10 minutes, 5 minutes or so of our ride this day, end of September. You can see ahead of us we have a paint crew going on, painting and doing lots of loud noises, repairing the roof and stuff. So there's a lot going on here today, and again, I always try to look for these opportunities with the young horses as training opportunities. There might be, some spooky rocks on one side of the property, or the house on the other, and noise going on, and trying to find, we don't want to scare the young horses, but have the exposure for them, so that hopefully in the future they have a really positive life. So again, the ground's pretty hard. We haven't got very much rain here, and you can see I'm out on the grass. So I'm doing, there he just had a little look at the boulder there in the morning sun, and this is pretty early in the morning. So you can see that, depending on the day, I don't like drilling these guys. So like I'm working on a few transitions. I'm working in making sure his shoulders or his haunches are upright. But I'm not going to pound him into the ground today, because again, the ground's hard, and we can get a lot accomplished at the walk and a little trot, and just work on our transitions and our straightness, and then go for a hack after. So really depending on the day and what's going on. As a trainer, you have to be really flexible. You maybe had a different idea of what's happening or what your goals were for that day, but again, yep, there I'm trying to keep him a little more open in his jowl, a little more open in his throat latch in that canter transition. Sometimes he can get a little too round and a little too down in his neck, and I want to again touch him with the whip here and try to get that butt, yep, a little bit more underneath him. And so it's less about, again, I don't do a lot of sitting trot, but there when I was touching him a little bit, I would say, hey, get your shoulders up, get your butt down. He's really a fun horse. He's really come a long ways, and I'm looking forward to having him at the Young Event Horse Championships next week.